Do the Sid Finch? If people don't know that one,
All right, Sid
that's
Finch.
a great one.
So this was an April Fool's Day hoax that Sports Illustrated did. They realized the issue was coming out April 1st, 1985. So this writer wrote this article about Sid Finch, a fictional baseball player. He was raised in an English orphanage, learned yoga in Tibet, and could throw a fastball as fast as 168 miles per hour. And
Real guy.
Could he really?
Yeah. Go ahead. Keep going.
And so they found this. They put Sid's picture on the cover, and it said he was a rookie baseball pitcher training with the New York Mets.
Got hurt. He would have pitched. He got hurt 1 year. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
It was like, what year was it?
1985.
85. When were you born? 82.
82.
He got hurt. 168 miles an hour. Could have pitched. How crazy is that?
That is crazy.
You wish you would have went to your
Yankees.
What new team are you a fan of?
Always
Yankees,
been a
Reds?
Yankee fan.
Yankees. Sid Finch would have went to the Yankees in 85. You'd have heard it. You'd have been a Hall of Famer. Got hurt. Can't throw that fast.
He wore
Crazy.
only one shoe, a heavy hiker's boot, when pitching.
How crazy is that?
That would be. I'd sign up. I'd sign him up on my team.
Everybody signed him up. You throwing 168 miles an hour. Who's not signing him up? You know?
Sid is kind of a shady name, though.
Well,
Sid Finch is that's a baseball name. You don't think it's a baseball name?
It sounds
He got
like a
lost in the shuffle in the orphanages and then came up 168 miles an hour. Dude, you know how fast,
That's
no one, a
crazy.
catcher couldn't catch it. That was the thing.
I feel like I missed part of this. So this is a hoax, though, right? He's not a real guy.
No, it's a real guy.
I feel like I zoned out for a second. I'll be honest. I'm like, I think I missed part of where it's like it's not a
He's
real
been
guy.
lying to you the whole episode.
Yeah.
I know he is.
The whole
He's-
episode's about hoaxes.
This is this is my life with Nate.
were-
We will
Yeah.
he will stretch out a lie and a trick for days or if not weeks with me sometimes where he's like, this is my aunt. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I guess it's his aunt. You know?
Nate's
And-
telling you the people that run that museum are all 7 feet tall. He had
Yeah.
never heard of this 30 seconds before.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, wow. Nick
But
always.
that would be great if it's a giant museum with a 7-foot guy that works there.
Well, I
You
know
try to
that-
get that.
No, that's why they started it. Because the guys are 7 feet. That's what made them think of it.
Aaron
Yeah.
loves this.
I know. He's a fan. All right. Anyway, Sid Finch. Who did he get drafted by?
the Mets.
The Mets.
Yeah.
Went to the Mets. You don't remember this?
Well,
He played with Lenny Dykstra. Played with him.
the
Yep.
Yankees wouldn't take him. I'll tell you that.
But the Mets, Lenny Dykstra played with him.
Yep. Let's see. Where's it? Yeah.
Lenny Dykstra talked about him on Howard Stern. He met him once before he got hurt.
Big fan of those car washes.
They
Don't
interviewed
let me
Mets pitching coach Mel Stoudemire about it. And anyway, Mets fans were very excited, overjoyed at their luck in finding such a player, and flooded Sports Illustrated with requests for more information.
It's crazy. Do you think that was a hoax or not a hoax?
I mean, I would say it felt like a real story. And
It is
then
a
I'm
real
like
story.
the
I know. Well, this is the
but
game.
this is a hoax element.
Do you think it was a real story or not real story? This is the game.
I think
hoax or not
People
hoax.
thought it was a hoax because it sounds so crazy.
But 168 miles an hour seems too fast.
That is fast. Well, that's
That's
the
so
point. Yeah,
fast.
that's so
Like
fast.
I think 100
Yeah.
miles an hour seems like you never hear anyone throwing 120.
Yeah.
So how do
Well,
you go to 160?
Guy Buck Johnson, threw
God,
115 miles an hour. Look that up. He's the fastest
Yeah,
pitcher.
Buck Johnson. That sounds like somebody that beat Tiger Woods.
It's Joe Buck's great grandfather.
Joe Buck. See, Aaron will never let me be completely tricked because he laughs at.
Aaron, you need to leave the room.
Aaron
Yeah.
is like you're
so obviously not true.
The whole episode.
168 miles an hour is insane.
It is though. You would think after being friends with Nate for like 100 years that I'd be like, he's probably
Catch on.
lying, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I believe him.
On an episode about
He is very trusted. I mean, an
about
episode
lying.
about hoaxing.
Yeah.
Every story, I said that Giants own Giants. You were like, oh, that makes sense. Nick pays attention, and then it's not that he doesn't, there's not a dumb factor in this. It's Nick
Yeah.
pays attention, then Nick zones out. And I just know when Nick is zoned out, and then I pounce on that opportunity. So we've just been friends long enough that I just can see Nick's kind of thinking about something else.
Yeah.
So I know he's kind of not in the conversation, and then I know when to throw this thing in. And then Nick kind of starts agreeing with you, I think, before he's back in the conversation. Like, he's like, oh, wow, that's crazy. Yeah. And then he's like, is it? And then it's like, I've got him. If I keep
he's in
like
the sweet spot.
Yeah. I get like, if I just say little things here and there and then kind of go back and then I keep jumping back in and but yeah, though, I mean, the whole episode's about stuff that's not real. So I don't know why we would throw a real story about something. Like, that's pretty crazy to be like.
It says many people fell for the prank. The magazine printed a much smaller article in the following April 8th issue announcing Finch's retirement.
We had a guy fall for the prank as we talked about the prank. So that was that good of a prank.
I used to work for the Mets.